All right, yeah, it's time. I got a big timer with me. That's right, it's Chris Simms Unbuttoned, and I am with Jalyn Armour-Davis from Alabama, one of my favorite corners in the draft. I've butchered his name on the podcast. I don't know if you heard this yet, right? Jalyn, I wasn't sure if it was Armour or Armour-Davis. I kind of messed it up, so my bad, man, but I love the way you play ball, and thanks for joining me today, man.
Oh man, I appreciate that. But yeah, it's Armor. You got it now. It's Armor,
Okay.
and don't feel bad at all. It's different ways all the time. I get a more kind of stuff. So it's just Armor, kind of like Under Armour or any kind
It's
of
it's
thing.
it, right. It's very easy. I don't know
Yeah.
why I went all bougie and into an armoire with like shelves and crap and all that, which led us into
Nah,
that conversation. So,
nah, just Armor Davis. But I appreciate it, man.
yeah, but yeah, you hit like a piece of furniture. That's for sure. You do tackle too. I like that about your game. All right, I want to get
That's
to
good.
know before we hit on just the football stuff, you a little bit. All right. There's not a lot out there on you. First off, here's the most amazing thing about you. There's not even anything in Wikipedia about you. Like, are you the most unknown Alabama player like in recent history? I'm just shocked by that.
Yeah, I probably am. I mean, I've always been a very low key guy. I don't really do a whole bunch outside of football. I'm not really out and about. You're not really gonna see any random pictures or anything like that of me or videos. Some things that's different about me. I've been married for 3 years now. Um, as of this past March, my daughter is 2 years old
Wow.
as of this past March. So, I mean, that's probably one reason why you don't know a lot about me. That tells you a little bit about me just off the bat right there. I'm a family guy. I do everything I need to do. I handle my business. I go play ball. I graduated, so obviously I was going to class, and then I go home, and then I handle my business at home. So I don't, do too much. Social media is something that I'm kind of on it because I kind of get on the one to scroll, and two is just kind
Sure.
of, the way things are going nowadays to where, you kind of have to have a social media. So, it's not really my biggest things. My friends, my cousin at home, he always tells me, look, man, you got to post. Like you've been too long without posting, you got to do something. So I've actually had to be pushed to do social media things rather than it being my natural state. So, I don't really put a whole lot out there. I'm just
That's
kind
why
of
I
a,
like you. That's why
yeah,
I like you. Like, screw social media. That's what I want to say. I'm like you. I don't want to look at that crap a lot of the time. I don't. I just want to
yeah,
scroll and be happy and do all that. And my own work gets mad at me for not posting stuff. I'm supposed to be
right,
posting stuff. So I hear you. It's a very mature answer. I could tell you're mature just with how you answer that and the way you act, even just leading up to the interview. Your daughter, though, 2 years old. Like, talk
right.
about that. Just let me know. How did that change your life? What did that do to you at such a young age?
Oh man, it was definitely a life-changing moment. With her being two, obviously that's right when COVID and everything kicked off. So COVID was definitely an unfortunate situation. But if I'm gonna speak personally just off myself, it worked out perfectly for me because when she was born, I was able to be at home with my wife, um, you know, throughout the entire day. And we were able to raise her together and things like that to where she wasn't by herself while I'm practicing and having to go to class. I was able to be there for every step of the situation.
Awesome.
So that when things kicked back into it, it wasn't really difficult for me. It wasn't very difficult for us. We already kind of had a feeling for how this was going to work. Just how I was already at least had a feeling for what it's like to be a father. It wasn't very difficult in the beginning just because of the way that I was raised. My mom, had to do everything she had to do to make sure that we weren't in a poor situation. I went to a private school, which is obviously not easy on her, and I have two younger sisters as well. So a lot of times, if she had to do some extra things, it was up to me to go take care of my sisters, who are now one is 5, one is 7 years old now. So they were in high school, they were around the same age of, a toddler, slash kid. So, it was never really, it wasn't a difficult role that I had to get onto. It wasn't really that much different other than the fact that this was my child now
Right,
and not
right.
just a sister. So, it was never really just a huge difference to me. But I mean, like I said, anytime it's yours and it's your blood and your seed, it's different.
It
So
is. I know. I know. I got a 15-year-old. I got an 11-year-old. I remember those days, right? And like, all right, so like now we're down this lane. Like, what's your daughter's name, if you don't mind me asking?
Hazel Grace Armour-Davis.
Hazel. Okay. So what's the number one show we're watching? Like I've grown up as, I mean, my kids, Dora the Explorer was killing my TV screen. I could still sing the damn song. What's the
Right.
show that's popping up on the TV for Hazel
Yeah.
all the time?
Coco Melon and Miss Rachel.
Okay.
All day.
All right.
On repeat.
On repeat. Yeah, right. So you can hum the songs to those shows as well. All right.
Yes, sir.
So you personally, music, like what are we listening to? Give me, give me like top 2, 3 artists you listen to.
Oh, honestly, I'm the type of guy. It really depends on the type of mood that I'm in. Like every
Okay.
day is like a different type of spin. Uh, Someone that's gonna get spin with me every day is Jay-Z. Obviously, with Rock Nation, things like that. But that wasn't because of that. I've been a fan of him since I was like 9. Uh,
What relaxed mood? If you're in a relaxed mood, like, where are we going there?
yeah, if I'm in a relaxed mood, I'm gonna go Jay-Z. I'm gonna go some Rick Ross. Uh, and I'll probably listen to probably a little bit of Gunna. That's someone I usually listen to regardless of type of mood that I'm in. That's probably why he's one of my favorite artists because I feel like he can, go whichever type of way. But Jay-Z, Rick Ross, and some Gunna is probably in a daily spin, but in a relaxed mood as well.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Those are 3 good ones too. I know Gunner a little bit from my daughter, actually. So I'm like becoming the old white man that's out of touch with like cool music now, to where I gotta
Yeah,
listen to my kids a little bit every now and then to tell me what the hell is cool. I've literally
it's
become
good.
that guy. uh,
It's good music.
all right, female artists. I gotta know this too. Like, we're gonna turn on. I'm like, when I relax, I turn on a female artist. That's what I want. I want to hear, the beautiful female voice. You got one out there for me that you tuning on?
Oh yeah, I have a playlist full of Eric Badu and Lauren Hill.
Oh, look at you.
Yeah,
Okay, yeah, all right. Eric
full of
Badu. Yeah, I used to rock that a lot back in my college days.
yeah.
All right, car. What are we gonna do? Like coming out here, we get some money. Where are we going first? Car, and then what are we gonna do? What's the next purchase we're gonna look at?
Shoot, I mean, my next purchase is I gotta take care of my living situation.
Yeah, yeah.
So
So you're
I
going,
have a family,
yeah.
so I think more of that direction first than before a car or something like that. But I've always been a car guy. That's kind of been my thing. Like when I'm finished playing ball, I want to own my own modification garage to do all the things to the cars. But I've always been a BMW guy. That's just me
BMW.
personally.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, I probably wouldn't buy myself a car right away. I own one right now, so I'll probably just upgrade it, do some things to
You
it that I wasn't able to do before.
you going SUV, 4-door, 7 Series? Are we going, two-door speed car? What are we going there when you go the Beamer?
Yeah, I'm in the 2-door right now. I probably next time I get one, have to be a 4-door just for the sake of the family.
Okay, yeah, you got to do that for the kids. The damn baby seat's not going to work in your 600 horsepower two-door BMW, man.
Exactly.
All right, so let's get into some football. I'm glad we got to know you a little bit. You got your crap together. That's the one thing I know right off the bat, which I don't know why I wouldn't expect it. You went to Alabama, and most of you guys do.
Mhm.
Are you like as shocked as I am about the lack of attention maybe you're getting on the national scene or through the draft talk? Again, I watched you and I go, wait, the guy's 6'1", he ran 4.3, and really nobody ever gets open. I don't understand why the guy's not getting attention. It confuses me. It's got to confuse you.
I mean, I wouldn't really say confused, because like I said, I'm not a social media guy. So,
Yeah.
if it's not spinning around in the social media world, then so be it. As long as it's spinning around in the rooms, that's gonna want to turn the draft card in on me, and I think I have that attention for sure. Just the way things are going in the draft process, I'm pretty confident in how things would turn out for me come draft day,
Good.
and that God will put me in the right situation. But I mean, I could kind of see why. I mean, I just kind of came out of nowhere. A lot of guys, 2, 3 year starters, you get to know them more, you see them more often, and it kind of leads into that, which is great for them. And my story was much more different than that. So I mean, I respect it. But at the end of the day, if someone had to want to question me, I would just say, look, man, go watch the tape. Go look at whatever numbers you want to look at, whether it's from combine numbers, whether you want to go look at the completion or yards given up or touchdowns given up, which is 0, or if you want to look at how many penalties, PIs, because it's PIs is something nowadays.
It's a big thing. Yeah.
Yeah, two over the whole year. So, if you want to have a correct opinion, then I would say just go do valid research and don't go by the media or the popularity test is what I would say. Go do research and you'll get a valid answer. And if your answer isn't what my answer would be, if it's much lower, then, that's your opinion. I would just say go do a valid research for your opinion before, I've never heard his name. So, this is my opinion off of it.
Well, put me in the club of doing my valid research, and that's what I saw. I just that's where, again, as a guy that does the draft every year, there's always a handful of guys where I just go, I don't get it. How do not people see what I'm seeing? And I'm sure the people that count, the NFL people, are, but I still think people, you haven't had your last word out there. But for this process, what was it like for you sitting behind, some of the guys you had to sit behind the last few years at the corner position? It must have tested your patience.
100%. I mean, it's always difficult, when you're in a situation to where you can be doing well and you feel like that you can produce. That time just isn't there for you yet. Obviously going into Alabama, I knew what I was getting myself into. Everyone knows that, every now and then you may see a freshman that starts and things like that. But for the most part, even the all-time greats from Alabama, they had to wait their turn. There's some greats that didn't, but, it's a lot of them, especially on the defensive side of the ball.
Right.
That you got to wait your turn. I mean, we're secondary. We don't rotate. Some schools, some guys, you got about 3-4 corners. We don't rotate. That's just never been part of our philosophy. So you really have to wait your turns, and you got to go earn it on special teams if you're not a starter. And even if you are a starter, you're still on special teams. I still play all 4 special teams. Right. It's passion. So it's definitely difficult, but I just had to, I had to figure out a different way how I wanted to view it. So for me, I looked up to this first team. Guy I looked up to was Shaheem Carter. I think he was the smartest player that I've been around up until this point in my career, speaking from a player standpoint. I mean, he could basically be a coach while he was a junior. And he could act, not just because he knew things, but he could actually teach it to anybody over the whole defense. And he was a guy I looked up to because I noticed how guys would come up to him and, ask him how he's getting this and how he's viewing that. I wanted people to approach me the same type of way. So even though I wasn't starting, when I would step out with the second team defense, I tried to, take role onto it. Like, okay, well, since I'm out here on the second team, I look at it as this is my second team defense. And as of right now, this second team secondary, I don't look at myself as the leader, at least of this second team secondary. And that's how I started to develop things so that when my time came, I stepped into it and there was really no questions from there. There wasn't really is he going to do well here or can we trust Jalyn here? Once I stepped into the role, it was over with. Once my first practice with the ones, I didn't look back from it up until now. Looking back at it right now, it's the first time I'm really looking back at it at all.
Yeah, right.
So, during that time, it was tough though. I'll say that.
Did you ever think about transferring? Were you ever like, maybe I need to go somewhere else and just get on the field and play? I mean, that's perfectly fine to have those thoughts.
It is, but not for me.
Yeah.
I knew that this is where I wanted to be. I knew that I could do it here. Some people you kind of get to doubt them cannot even do it here because it's tough. It's much different than really any other school, and there's no disrespect to any other school.
No, you're right.
It's nowhere.
No one's Bama. No one's Nick Saban.
Nobody. So I knew that, one, I knew that I could do it. And two, I knew that when I do it, I was going to be in a pretty good place. And, it was going to help me really be successful as a person and as a man off the field as well. And I didn't really want to take, I wouldn't say the easy route, but I mean, really the easy route. Because, it's guys on our team that's third string, sometimes fourth string practice guys that will go start at a school
Yeah.
that's probably playoffs
Right.
right away, and that's just the truth of it. So, I like that, but it's like it's just the easy way. It's just not. It's like you're running away from the grind a little bit, and that's not to everybody that's transferred out of Alabama at all, because everybody's had their different
Different
situations.
situation. Yeah. Right.
Right. Whether they've had an injury, whether it's, things that they had to leave. But I knew for me, if I would have did it, I would have labeled it as running it from
What,
the ground.
Jalyn, like, what is it about Bama? Like, what is it? Like, you could have probably gone to a whole bunch of other schools, like, but you're going to go there. It's dicey. There's going to be other talented players. I'm going to sit behind them for a little, like you explained. It's tough. Saban, he doesn't take any crap from anybody. But, like, ultimately, what is it that you think brings you and all these other guys there to go, screw it, I want to be a part of it, even though it's going to be tough?
Because you want to be the best.
Yeah.
And not just because you're going to win national championships, but day in, day out, you have to be the best version of yourself, because the guys that you're going against are like the best in the country.
Right.
At pretty much every position. Like for myself, the type of receivers that I've seen over the past 4 years is ridiculous.
Yes, it is.
It's really ridiculous. And I get the question all the time of who was the hardest receiver I had to guard throughout college.
Yeah, I'm going to ask you that, so go ahead and answer it.
Right. Yeah, well, it's hard to single out one, but they definitely wouldn't be from any other school other than Alabama. It's the guys that I've seen in practice for sure.
All right. So stop there. Then I want a two-part question, okay? As a two-part question, first off, I know that's where I wanted to ask you both of these things because fans like to hear this. I'm a fan. I want to hear it.
Right.
Bama, I know you had studs. They're all awesome at receiver. Who was the one that gave Jalyn Armour-Davis the issue where you were like, damn it, he's got this move, or I hate guarding him out of all these damn good guys? Who was the one that gave you the issues? They all got talent. And
they all.
Yeah.
All
did a guy like Waddle give you more issues than maybe a guy like Devontae Smith, who was a little longer and bigger like you? Was it a shorter? What is it?
I think it's between those two. It's between Smitty and Waddle for sure.
Right.
Just because they're so all around. And not that the other guys weren't all around. Clearly, they're all around.
Yeah, right.
I think those two guys kind of stood out to me. And I played inside and outside.
Yeah.
I played the start position and outside. So, obviously, during his time at Alabama, Waddle played a lot in the slot. So, I had a ton of reps with that. And on the outside, of course, with Smitty and Waddle, and he's effective on the outside as well, too. So, I don't want people to mistake that at all. But it's really a toss-up between those two.
Yeah, okay.
They're really elite at what they do.
All right, that's good to hear. We won't tell Jameson Williams. We'll hope he won't see this. All right, don't worry about it. It's all good. I know. Don't worry. It's a tough one to answer. I want the same damn tough answer though for the rest of the SEC or whoever in college football. Who was that one guy? Again, I know you played against a lot of good guys, but the one that you just stuck out to you to go, damn, he was good and he gave me a few issues. That in the game we played. Anybody pop to your mind there?
Not really.
Not really. So the Bama receivers stood out alone by themselves to a degree as far as how you felt threatened. Right.
It's not a disrespect to the guys that I've played against on opposite teams at all. It's just that the things that we see in practice, our standard for great or that good is just that high.
Right.
And it just wasn't anybody that was up there with that.
So who's like, give me the DB like that you maybe all the years you're there at Bama that impressed you the most. I mean, you guys are kind of DB university. You could have an all-star team of NFL Alabama secondary guys and go, damn, this is the best secondary in football. Who's the guy though that you looked at to go, ooh, he was freaky, or you learned the most from, out of the big name NFL guys at least?
There's a couple.
You didn't have a crossover with Minka, right? Did you have a crossover with Minka Fitzpatrick at all? You missed him, right?
Yeah, I missed him.
Right.
I had Diggs. Diggs was different.
Yeah, he's a character.
Diggs was, man, I remember one practice he had like 9 interceptions in a practice.
Wow.
Literally. And I was like, how?
Yeah.
Like, how does this? It was like 4 in 1 rack before we even took a break. And I was like, wow. So Diggs was definitely different. Pat Surtain, I mean, he's just been a technician from day one, even when we were freshmen, because we came in together. And I mean, he came in and he was playing the way it seems he's playing right now. As a freshman, I mean, it was just, you knew it was different for him. But just his composure and his technique, I think that was something that, I picked up on and just tried to add it for my game just from seeing him day in, day out in practice. And probably Xavier McKinney too, although he was a safety. His intensity, I mean, he came to practice every single day with the same intensity. He didn't take crap from nobody, teammate or not. That's his type of competitor he was. And, just the way he played the game,
yeah,
I didn't have anything but respect for it.
Yeah. Heat-seeking missile. That's what Xavier McKinney is. He plays for my Giants, man. That's my squad. So I'm glad you went there. Like you growing up, who's Jalyn's team? Who did you root for growing up?
I never had a team,
No?
whether it was college or NFL. I just loved to watch football. Even though I went to Alabama, I wasn't even like this huge Crimson Tide fan.
Right.
I just grew up in Saturdays. I'm flipping through every game on the commercials and same thing on Sundays. So
yeah.
I love to watch.
All right. So then about player-wise growing up, like there a corner that, is your favorite player? Anybody else, that pops to mind when I bring up that?
Yeah. So I love watching Darius Slay.
Yeah.
That was my favorite guy to watch and still is right now.
Yeah.
Just the way that he plays, I see a lot of similarity myself with the way that he plays the game, just how quick he is, his speed, the way he's able to mirror guys, press off. He travels everywhere. He can play inside and outside. So I see myself developing into a player similar to him, just the way that he plays the game. So he's definitely a favorite player of mine. But if I had to go away from my position, I was always a Cam Newton fan.
Yeah.
Until he left Auburn. I had to wait till he left Auburn. And probably Odell Beckham. Those probably the two guys I watched the most growing up in high school and stuff like that.
Right. So Odell's going to be the guy that you'll be most excited to see probably on the field or have to guard potentially next year. We're going to go that'll be your whoa NFL moment. Like, oh crap, look at this, it's happening. I'm here.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Yeah, that's amazing. Odell's the man. I've he's been on here with me before too. He's a great guy. So that'll be fun to watch. All right, so that's the other thing I wanted to ask you. You talked about your game. I'm amazed with not only your speed, your ability to play at the line of scrimmage like you talked about, but you are rare in the fact that you can play off too. And it's, in my opinion, you have this great ability to kind of stick your foot in the ground like a wide receiver and break on the ball. It was like really impressive. What's the area of your game, though, that you look at to go, I want to get a little bit better here for my NFL career?
Ooh. I just want more ball production and interceptions. And it's not that I think I lack in ball skills, just simply just kind of doing it. I mean, I played wide receiver all the way up into college. Half of my high school scholarships were to play wide receiver at Power 5 schools. So it's not that ball skills were never there. Just simply taking more advantage of the opportunities. Like I think I had 3 this year, and it was a 3-week span to where I could have had 3 in a row. And then I dropped the 4th one and it was a pick 6. I'm still super upset about that, but just kind of taking advantage more of the ball and not just knocking it away, but get some interceptions, get some catches.
Right.
Because I know that I'm capable of doing that just as well as the receiver that I'm guarding. So that's something that I feel like I want to capitalize on, especially in the NFL.
Right.
You want to get your hands on the ball.
I know. What are you gonna do? I know you're gonna practice it at practice. Like, is there? What do you just try to play receiver in your free time a little bit and catch footballs and play it that way? I mean, what do you do to kind of improve in that area?
Right. So, I mean, especially at my time at Bama, we're heavy on the jug machines. You finish practice, we have our small meeting on the field.
Right.
You go over 50 on the jug, grab a quarterback or just anyone that's willing to help you to where, you're running down the field and, you just ask him to loft the ball up just so you can turn and locate the ball.
Right.
Just locating it and then use the jug machine to, catch it with some good velocity on it. So, just consistent things like that. You don't have to be out there for a whole hour or anything like that. But I don't think it's more about how long you're out there. I think it's how consistently you go out there and do it from day to day. Just having your hands on the ball, just playing DB. Your hands not on the ball all the time.
Yeah, right.
So fresh and staying familiar with the ball really is what I think it's more about.
Yep, I hear you there. Yeah, you got to just get the reps catching the ball.
Yeah.
I want to also just piggyback a little bit off of like, because you seem so cerebral and you've had so many good people around you, and it seems, you guys are such football guys in Bama. Like, what's the number one lesson you'd teach someone about playing corner for the Alabama Crimson Tide, and like kind of who taught you that lesson, if you don't mind me asking?
Uh, I would say perseverance,
Mm.
because I mean it's going to be some adversity. One, with the position that you're playing, it's not going to go your way every single play. Something may happen whether the ball came or not. Just you could have just lost the rep. On top of that, you just enrolled at the University of Alabama, where soon your first day on campus, you got Jerry Judy, you got Henry Ruggs, you got Devontae Smith, you had Jalen Waddle. Oh, here comes John Mechie, and then here comes Jameson Williams. So, uh, you're going some things, just gonna happen at some point. But you got to know how to persevere through when something happened and really learn what it means to say play the next play, and not just to be out there the next play, but erase what bad just happened, learn from it, but go make a play now. Go make a play on whoever you think made a play on you. Or if you lost the rep, go win the next rep.
Yeah.
Do what it takes to win this rep, but you got to learn how to persevere through those moments, because it get tough sometimes in fall camp, and it's day after day after day. You're getting tired, and guys in front of you are doing good, and all those things. You gotta be able to dig into yourself to figure things out. And I give that answer just from not an athletic standpoint, because everybody has their own way of playing. Everybody is athletic in their own different way. So I don't really try to give people that advice, because what worked for me probably wouldn't work for them,
Yeah.
and vice versa. So I try to give it from a mental standpoint, because everybody's gonna go through that.
No doubt, no doubt about it. No doubt about it. Like, I mean, it just seems like all the Bama guys are that way. You guys are all wired to be able to handle adversity, tough practices. This is why everybody likes drafting you guys. Saban seems to have the special Midas touch or whatever. Like, and what is it about him? Like, tell me, give me a good Nick Saban story. Give me one where he got on. You got anything like that where he yelled at you, gave you some 4-letter words like, "Hey, what the f, Jalyn? What are you doing here? Why can't you cover this guy?" I mean, give me some of that.
I mean, we've all gotten chewed out at some point, but I wouldn't say I necessarily have like a story on them or something like that. I think it's just normal coaching, really. When you get something like that from Coach Saban, you do something wrong, he's gonna let you know about it. So I wouldn't necessarily say, "Oh, it's a story," or nothing like that. It's just coaching. But far as why I think he has the type of success with players like ourselves is it just starts in recruiting. I mean, people think that coach just goes and gets all the 4 and 5 stars. That's not really the case. I mean, you see every year, every draft class is somebody that was a 2 or 3 star that comes out, and we're like, who was that? And I think it's what he looks for in recruiting. He's going to look for guys that he knows can take his coaching. He's going to look for guys that wants to actually be the best, and not just say it, but actually wants to win, and actually cares about winning, that's going to come in and go through the grind without complaining and questioning anything that he does, and understanding what it's going to take to win. That's what he looks for, and that's what he gets. So once we all get in that type of environment, and we all have that same type of mindset, we all have that in our DNA, it just clicks, and then it just works. And it's just that ultimate competitive spirit in practice, to where it's not any negativity around that. We all just there to work, and we all love competition. Like we enjoy the tough times. We enjoy going against somebody that's an All-American every day in practice. Just the things that we look forward to, because of that's who he recruits.
We hear about it like, we always want to ask you about like the negative, or when he yells at you, what happened there? How does he praise you? What is he easy? Does it come easy for him to praise you, or is he do it some cryptic way where it doesn't just come flying out of his mouth, with words all the time?
I mean, he'll tell you good job and things like that when it's due. But at the same time, you actually got to like really make a play for him to,
right.
Do a good job. If you're doing something that you just because you didn't do it wrong, he may have yelled at you when you did it wrong. So you waiting on him to not yell at you or to say something good because you didn't do it wrong. That's
right.
not how it's work, because you just did what you're supposed to do at that point. You really gotta go make something happen for you to get, a good job, or hey, that was good right here. Because it's just the standard. It's the expectation for you to do what you're supposed to do anyway. So, but when it's due, he does give it to you. I mean, he's not. He's a great person.
He must. I mean, you guys keep going there. He's got to have people skills. That's what people always ask me. Oh, he seems like he's so tough. And I go, well, he gets all these kids to go there. He must have the, something about him that gets everybody at that school. That's for sure.
Yeah, he's a great person.
All right. I know you got better things to do. All right. You are my mofo, though, now. It's official. You're my motherfucker, all right? That's it. It's official. That's it. And then it's Jalyn Armour-Davis coming to a city near you. Yeah, he's going to be your lockdown corner. If you see him in the Beamer bumping Jay-Z with Hazel in the back, that's your starting corner of your new football team, all right? Thanks, man. Thanks for spending some time with me, and best of luck.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
All right, man. Peace out. See ya.
See you.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.